Okay, so moving on in our series of fixing things within UDOIT, um, the next thing we want to look at is something that largely can be fixed right within UDOIT and doesn't need to even access Canvas for the most part. So if you were looking to make quick progress on some issues, if you have anything in this area, that would be a good place to start. So the next thing we're going to look at is color. So let's look at our color issues that we have potentially. Basically, they run into two categories. Either we're using color alone to communicate information or insufficient text color with the background. So those are pretty straightforward. Flipping back over to our course with UDOIT. So you see here we have insufficient contrast and potential use of color alone. So let's look at what those two things are. And we can show that those are pretty easy to fix within Canvas. So here you see we don't meet the ratio for contrast. The ratio has got to be 4.5 to 1 for small text and 3 to 1, sorry, for large text. So this being considered small, anything under 14.5, we need this ratio number to go over 4.5. So unless you're really picky about what that looks like, we can click on this button a few times and eventually we'll see it go up to where we hit over that 4.5. We still have a blue color that we started with and we're all set. We can click on save. There are times where there's a checkbox that shows up here that says apply this to all X number of similar issues, and you can knock out a lot of issues with one adjustment. It notices that the color is the same, it's in the same type of text on the same file, and it lets you save some time. So we're going to go ahead and click on save. We're going to go ahead and go to the next issue. Now here it's saying that we just have color applied and that's it. Color only is a bad thing because if I have some sort of vision impairment, especially if I have any sort of color blindness, and you're telling me that this is important because it's red or it's green or it's purple, I might not see that on the screen. I'll just read it as it's normal and I don't know that there's something that stands out about that. So there's ways to get around that because obviously using color is effective, especially for students that don't have any of those impairments. But we have to keep both sets of people in mind. So what we'd want to do from here, we could simply remove the color if we don't think that it's that important in hindsight to apply that, or we could add this to be bold or make it italics if we think that's enough. Usually having bold or italics and color is enough to fit those requirements. The other thing you could do as you're building content is use some sort of a symbol, whether it's asterisks around either side of important things, put emojis in around important things. So we could click on the make this bold option and go from there. I should note this also applies to if you've highlighted text. I know some people will use like a yellow highlighter to pick out vocab words that they put into a document. That's great. That's an awesome idea. But highlight and make it bold so that way you're covering your bases with all students. The remaining issues are all the same thing. Color contrast, again, this is the same idea. We would want to go ahead and make those adjustments. And like before, you can go to the page and see, because maybe you're not sure how do I want to handle that. You don't know what exactly was all on that page, where this piece of text is located. You can obviously at any point pull the page up and solve manually.